Morning, everybody. Thanks for joining me as we take a look at your week forecast for December 11th through the 15th. And after this morning, our snow winds down, with a little bit more accumulation to come. We have a quiet weather week for you. Kind of chilly to start the week. A couple cold days, particularly Wednesday into Thursday after a front moves through, and then we warm up for the weekend and certainly head towards next weekend above average temperature-wise. So let's take a look at what's going on across the country. Here's our storm really starting to wrap up and get going here. It has dragged some colder air in, and we now have it is developing pretty rapidly. The precipitation hasn't been overly heavy. We got much less rain sort of than anticipated. This is underperformed from both the precipitation amount total and also the cold air was slightly slower, although pretty close to when we thought it would get in here. But accumulations have been pretty light for a lot of us in Vermont. It's none for a lot of us as well. We still do have the chance. We probably will still see some light accumulations. We've got a ways to go with precipitation, and most of us have changed over to snow at this point. But probably on the lower end of what I predicted yesterday in terms of total accumulations. Behind that, you can see there's not much going on. Here we have a front. This will eventually kind of head in our direction and be reinforced a little bit. That'll bring some cold air and some flurries, maybe a slow shower on Wednesday morning. And then we're dry for the rest of the week. So yeah, ultimately a pretty decent weather week out there. Not a lot of activity after we get through today. We take a look at radar. We'll take a close look in at what's going on here across the Northeast. But before that, just kind of see not much going on. None of these fronts that are kind of headed in our direction on Wednesday have any real precipitation associated with them. Like I said, there's a chance they'll kick off a snow shower or a flurry, but nothing that I would be too concerned about. Let's zoom in on what's going on here across the Northeast this morning, and you can see we have really changed over. And by the time you actually see this video, I'm sure we have basically changed over everywhere. A couple of moderate batches to come through, although certainly on the east side of the greens, as kind of predicted by the models, the precipitation totals have been down a decent amount because of some downsloping. The peaks are definitely getting some accumulating snow out of this now, but definitely kind of a shadowing effect to some extent. Just haven't had a lot of real great lift associated with all this as well. So that's held precipitation amounts back. I think I ended up with about an inch of rain. I really thought for sure we'd end up with, I probably end up with maybe an inch and a half of total QPF by the end of this. I was thinking 2.5 easily. So anyway, heavier rain kind of stayed to our east. Ultimately, a good thing for us. And yeah, we will still see a little bit of snow accumulation on the back end. But basically, by around noon today, this should be wrapped up. The worst of it, even by 10, 11 o'clock this morning, should be wrapped up. Let's take a quick look at where that front's going to be on Wednesday. It's kind of draped across. It will swing through and it will bring some Arctic air behind it. Not frigid Arctic air, but a pretty chilly day. Thursday particularly will be stuck in the low 20s, so chilly on Thursday. But otherwise seasonable and then warming up as we head towards Friday. We'll show you that. Let's take a look at our work week forecast. So rain has changed to snow this morning. Temperatures will be in the low 30s. Tomorrow, after we start off a little chilly in the low 20s, it will be breezy this afternoon. I should put breeze in there. But certainly as the storm wraps up and goes to our west, we will be breezy this afternoon. But nothing to be too concerned about overnight. We'll feel cold. The temperatures in the low 20s with some decent winds. Tomorrow we get up to about freezing for most of us. A couple degrees above in a lot of places. Wednesday, after we start off in the upper 20s, the front moves through, and we really don't move all day. If anything, we drop some during the afternoon. It'll feel cold, a little bit breezy on Wednesday as well. Thursday is chilly after we start off in the teens. We find our way back up into the mid-20s, low to mid-20s, I should say. And then Friday, we're chilly to start Friday, but as soon as the sun comes out, we start a warming trend Friday. That will continue on through Saturday, probably into Sunday as well. A little bit model divergence in terms of whether we get a storm next weekend. If we do, it looks like probably rain, but right now, too far out to tell. Models are very divergent about what exactly is going to happen. But the warm-up is pretty much a guarantee for Friday into Saturday. So that's what's looking to happen the week. Let's take a quick look at those highlights for the weekend, or for the work week. Snow tapers off by midday Monday with 1 to 3 inches of additional accumulation. Quiet weather week overall. So yeah, you're looking at maybe another inch or 2, maybe 3 in some of the higher elevations of snow. It could be 4 or 5 in some of those favored snow belts on the upslope snow on the backside of this. That still could get some accumulation, but that's really just you know where you are in those favored spots. A cold front moves through Wednesday morning with flurries or a snow shower. and warm up for the end of the week into next weekend. No significant snow events on the horizon. The storm, if we get it next weekend, looks to be wet, not white. And then beyond that, there's nothing. We're kind of into an area where you wouldn't be able to forecast anyway, but nothing that looks overly promising for snow beyond that as well. So not the best forecast if you're trying to get skiing. Still been relatively cold, and hopefully the warm-up next weekend will be relatively short-lived so it doesn't hurt snowpack too much. But yeah, no good kind of snowpack storms on the horizon. All right. Thanks for joining. I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons. They help support what I do here at the West River Weather Guy. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel before, I'd encourage you to do so. It helps make sure you don't miss any of my videos. I'll be back on Friday with a look at your weekend forecast.